Dear students, welcome to PUC first year biology class. In the previous class, we have studied about the living world, what is living, and one of the character of the living organism is growth. About the growth we have discussed, and the second character is reproduction. Reproduction is another character of the living organism. It is the production of progeny having feature similar to those of parents. If you have to say what is reproduction, it is the production of progeny having features similar to those of parents. It is the production of offsprings having features similar to those of their parents. Organisms reproduce asexually and sexually. There are organisms which reproduce asexually. There are organisms which reproduce sexual means. Growth is increase in cell number or mass. Hence, in unicellular organism, growth and reproduction are same. Many organisms do not reproduce. Some of the examples where organisms do not reproduce are mules, worker bees, infertile human couples, etc. Hence, reproduction is not a perfect defining characteristic of living organism. If I have to say reproduction is one of the characteristics of the living organism, then what about these worker bees, mules? Mules, these are the type of organisms which are being formed from the male horse and female donkeys. By these two, mule is being formed, but it is infertile, it is sterile. It is such type of animals are being produced for working, to do hard work. These are the very hard working animals. For that purpose, even these type of animals are used to climb the mountains, hilly areas, and during the showing season, these type of animals are being used because they are very hard working animals. For that purpose, they are being produced, but they are sterile. Worker bees, these also do not have the capacity, and these are not involved in the reproduction. Infertile human couples, what we say, third gender, these are also not capable of reproducing. So, if I say reproduction is one of the characteristics of the living organism, it is not a perfect. Because what about these animals, these organisms which are not reproducing, which do not have capacity to reproduce? So it is also considered as one of the characteristics of the reproduction, but it is not a perfect. Second character of the living organism is metabolism. It is the sum total of all biochemical reactions taking place inside a living organism, living system. Sum total of all biochemical reactions that are taking place within me is called metabolism. Isolated metabolic reactions in vitro are not living things, but are living reactions. Yeah, they are the living reactions which are taking place. So this is second character. Third character, it is the sum total all the biochemical reactions taking place inside a living organism. Some of them you can think it of: the liberation of the gastric juice from the stomach, the liberation of the bile juice in the liver, from the gallbladder. There are the liberation of the saliva from the maxillary and submaxillary glands of upper cavity. There will be balancing of the sugar level, glucose level in the body. All these things will be maintained by the living organism, and that process involves the metabolism. This is another character of the living organism. But whereas non-living organisms do not perform that. Another type of characteristic is cellular organization. The cellular organization is the another character of the living organism, where organisms are made up of cells. Each and every individual whose body is made up of different types of cells. Some of them may be unicellular organism, some of them may be multicellular organisms, but there are different levels of cellular organization. They may be unicellular or multicellular organism. The life starts with a single cell, then it gets multiplied, becomes multicellular, or the life may be with unicellular. You can see molecules, cell organelles, cells, tissues, organs, organ system, organism. You can see molecules, cell organelles. There will be so many organelles whose body is made up of molecules. You take ribosome, lysosome, endoplasmic reticulum. In that smooth endoplasmic reticulum, rough endoplasmic reticulum, plastids, chromosomes. There are so many things will be there. Cell organelles all together make up the cell. Cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. Any living organism is there, its body is made up of cells. Then a group of cells performing the similar activities is called tissues. Group of tissues performing this specific activity is called organs. Or group of organs performing this specific activity, organal system. Group of organal system make up the individual or an organism. You can see human being is an individual whose body is made up of different types of organal system. We have nervous system, excretory system, respiratory system, muscular system, skeletal system. Many systems are there together make up an individual. So this is the cellular level of organization. So this is another character of the living organism, cellular organization. Consciousness. Another character is the consciousness. It is the ability of organism to sense their environment and respond to the environmental stimulus like light, water, temperature, other organisms, chemicals, pollutants, etc. Therefore, all living organisms are aware of their surroundings. Human is the only organism having a self-consciousness. You can see whenever I pinch somebody, immediately they take their hand back. During very dark night time, if I put a torch on their face, immediately they close their eyes and take their head back. When a person is moving on the road, suddenly if thorn touches to the foot, immediately he will take back his leg. These are some of the stimuli to the response that are being shown by the living organism because they have the consciousness. Consciousness is another property of the living organism. So these are 5 characters which are there for the living organism. Still many are there, but for your syllabus, these are the 5 characters, set of characters by which a living organism has to perform. If it is performing these characters, then we can say it is having life. So this I conclude myself of today's lesson. The rest of the things will continue in the